Welcome back to Boys and Ghouls Film Review, folks. I'm your host, Sarah Stephenson. This is my co-host, Mike Stephenson.
Hi, guys.
So tonight we are reviewing a movie that just came into my lap just recently called DashCam, and it was released in 2022, I think it was.
It hit the film festivals in 2021, but hit the cinemas in 2022. So when you go looking for it later on, be careful. There's also another film about the same time called it's called DashCam, and it's 2021 or 2022 as well. So, well, I'll mention this a bit later on, but when you go looking for this one, you got to make sure it was produced and directed by and written by Rob Savage, and starred a lady by the name of Annie Hardy. So I'll remind you at the end when I normally tell you where to get it. Yeah. But yeah, just be very, very careful, otherwise you get the wrong product.
Yeah, this movie is, aside from a found footage movie, is also a supernatural horror, I think.
Yeah, it's sort of, I was trying to figure out what the story was about at different stages. So
that goes double for me.
It's a bit of a okay, right? Is there? You know the type of movie. Okay, what are they trying to do here? So this you're already getting the idea it's going to get a top rating. Hey,
this movie is very cringe-worthy, not in a good way.
It's not cringe-worthy. But I mean, I think it was disjointed.
Yes.
I think that's where the problem was, and some things just happened which weren't really explained or what is happening, and you're going, I don't know.
And spoiler alert, which I will mention very soon, it does have an unlikable character in this one.
Oh yeah, but it's always good to have an unlikable character. So
sometimes,
if the poo hits the fan, you don't really care because they deserve it. You know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, if it's balanced out with some nice people,
someone really nice, you want them to be the final girl or something.
That would be great. Yeah. But if it's just a protagonist you're gonna dislike throughout this movie, you're gonna be feeling like, oh my gosh, why do I keep looking at this woman? She's definitely not my favorite person I want to talk to. Anyway, so moving on. So let me see. Let's discuss who looks after it and stars in it.
Okay, as I mentioned before, Rob Savage. What a great name. Okay, Rob produced it along with Jason Blum. I wonder where Jason Blum's from. Gee. And Douglas Cox. Rob Savage produced it. Like I said, he directed it, and the story was written by Rob Savage, Gemma Hurley, and Jed Shepard. Now, having said all those good groovy things, I'll go through a couple of things. I only mentioned two actors in a minute.
Yeah, there's only two
main ones.
Main ones.
But, this is sort of based, sort of part of it, on a real thing, where they got the idea for DashCam based on a live stream video series shared on YouTube by Anne Hardy, who's the actress who plays the main role. And they use that as an idea for the film. So a little bit of it's taken out of real life, but not the main guts of the story where it goes pear-shaped. Yeah. Now, having said that, we have two people. Funny name, this. Annie Hardy plays Annie.
Yeah.
Gee, that was a hard one, wasn't it, guys?
Well, in most found footage, Mike, is that sometimes in these found footages, they use the real protagonist's real name, or some.
Well, here's one for
sometimes.
you. Emma Chadha-Patel. His name wasn't Emma, his name was Stretch. Okay? It was Emma Chadha-Patel is a bit of a long, Stretch is good. Anyway, I won't go about that. I won't go through all the other people.
No point.
They're the two main people in it anyway. So,
So.
Yeah, the two main speaking parts anyway. I can't think of anything else to say before we get into this one. But obviously, it's a Blumhouse job. and I like Blumhouse stuff.
Sometimes.
They don't stick to just ordinary, oh, this is very, very nice. They take a punt and just put stuff out there sometimes. Sometimes it's really, really good. But you know it's going to be different. Because they're not looking for the old chocolate box sort of tried and true formula movies. Let's put these out there. This might make a few dollars. No, they're not scared to take a chance. And they did take a chance on this one, but they're going, cringeworthy. That's, I think, Sarah said. Cringeworthy.
Cringeworthy would be the best word for it.
Okay.
So I might as well dive into the story now.
Jump a splash.
So the story takes place with this woman named Annie. And she's a DJ / vlogger / annoying person.
I got one of those sitting right next to me.
Who goes out of her way to, do her music while driving her car.
Well, yeah, it's a bit like rap, trying to make it rhyme stuff. And she uses the comments coming on her site to use them to try and make up the lyrics or something rather. And it's really, some of it's really pathetic. I'm really sorry, but Annie,
sorry, guys. Oh man, and I'm amazed that so many people would tap onto such a pathetic person. When
anyway,
I think about it.
It starts off in America. She's actually this is during COVID.
Yes.
Or the end of COVID or whatever. She's sick of all the restrictions in Los Angeles, and she books a flight to go to London to meet up for a friend. Isn't that right?
Yeah, Stretch. Which she does, and it, of course, she gets on there, and she goes to Stretch's place, and instead of just phoning him saying, guess what, I've come to London to visit, blah, 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 she decides to take the direct route, which is more the dangerous route, and sort of breaks into his house.
No, she found where he kept the spare key, where he always keeps the spare key, and lets herself in the middle of the night and sneaks around the house and wakes him up in the middle of the night. Not a great way to introduce yourself. Hey, I'm here.
She does something that she did with him in the band. They used to be part of a band, I think.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
So they do, and they spend quality time, if you can call it quality time together.
Sort of.
On camera, blah, blah. And he also is an Uber driver, I think that's a word.
Well, he works as a food delivery, so like Uber Eats or something or other,
Yeah, and in one of the deliveries, or trying to get the delivery, she cheeses off a restaurateur who wants her to wear a mask.
Because even in England, hey, it's mask time, otherwise get out of our establishment, which happen in many places around the world. Even here we have that same problem.
So she's chugged out, and then she's told by Stretch's girlfriend, tells her that it's time for her to leave. Because I think she thinks she's a freeloader, she's not doing anything to contribute to the rent. And she's a loaded cannon. So while they're arguing, Annie takes Stretch's car keys and goes on and takes his car.
And his phone.
Yeah. So she begins to go out, and she also supposedly goes to one of the restaurants where she hopes to do a delivery.
No, well, she gets a message. She gets a message on his phone. She says, "Oh, I might as well pick up the food. I'm a bit hungry." She's going to steal the food as well.
Yeah.
Oh, nice little sleaze bag. Not the right type for a final girl. You're really hoping that something happens to this bird. Yeah, really.
Yeah. Of course, she arrives at the cafe or restaurant, and it's deserted, like very pitch black. No.
Ribbit,
yeah, exactly. There, she meets a person who says that she wishes her to deliver a person to this address. Of course, Annie decides to walk out and saying, "Nah, this is not my thing." Blah blah blah. But the girl offers her some money.
A large sum of money, doesn't say how much. So
yeah. And so she gives her the address, and she loads the girl into her car. It's an old lady.
Yeah.
So you guys know.
Called Angela. I didn't mention her because she doesn't have a speaking part or anything, but she's interesting.
Yeah, as they're driving, Angela kind of urinates on the seats.
You see in the back of the car. Yeah. She's defecates.
They pull over to another restaurant where they quickly go to the back to the toilet. All the time, Angela is urinating everywhere.
dribbling.
And I won't go into details. It's disgusting, really, to be honest.
It's like water was breaking.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, stuff starts to happen. Dealing with Angela, some weird, creepy stuff, obviously. Something to do with the fact that another lady appears, and she kind of tries to fight with Annie, obviously. And eventually, something ensures to happens. Like a lot of broken glass, a lot of the lady being floated into the air and thrown against the wall.
Yeah, no, that's the funny part. Okay. So that's Dinah, right? And while cleaning Angela, Annie is surprised to discover an Ariana Grande tattoo on her stomach. That's important for later on.
Sorry.
As the younger version of Angela shows up in the filming, and she got the same tattoo. Anyway, this woman enters the diner looking for Angela and attacks Annie. Annie fends her off.
Yeah.
And witnesses Angela exhibiting strange powers before fleeing back to the car.
Yeah, quickly she gets back to the car, and she then runs into Stretch, who shows her his iPad that shows Annie recording live on,
and he knew where she was, so he came to meet her and get his car and phone back.
Yeah. Of course, they place Annie back into the car, and they continue riding and talking and yelling at each he yells at Annie for stealing his car, blah, 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 stuff like that. But other stuff starts happening, which is really weird, which deals with the mysterious lady, who, of course, starts freaking out, obviously, and some weird stuff starts occurring. Like, there's even one incident where a married couple in their car rams into their own car and die, obviously. Obviously, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but before that, they actually fight. Annie gets out of the car. They stop there. Annie and Stretch having an argument, and Angela gets out of the car, and they find her standing up top of a tree on a branch or something rather. A frail lady could not have got up there.
No, duh.
I think Stretch tries to get her.
Yeah, and when he's climbing, the branch breaks and he tumbles out of the tree.
But then we see her float down to the ground like a spirit.
Oh, or a demon.
Yeah, don't know. Still don't know what she is.
Yeah. Eventually, the same woman we see much later on appears, and she kind of tries to shoot at her.
Yeah, somehow Russ got a shotgun.
Yeah.
And now you start to think, we're in England, and you can't get firearms quite so easily in England like in America. But this lady seems to lay her hands on a gun quite easily. And you go, okay, right.
Yeah, after the incident with the married couple who get crashed into their car, the lady appears in her own car and tries to attack Stretch and Annie. And, of course, Annie tries to get into her car and drive away. This is why I don't like Annie too much, because she continues to be selfish throughout this movie.
Yeah, stuff everybody else is all about me. Yeah. Mean little cretin.
Yeah, I don't like her too much. So, anyway, as she gets into the car, the lady tries to stop her from driving away, but then she snaps her arm in half using the steering wheel.
Yeah, not real good.
And as they're about to, they begin to, tease the poor lady who's bleeding to death and planning on calling the police, blah, blah, blah. And they ask her what she's all about.
Here's something great. Something I missed before in the movie. I just read my notes here. When that lady with shotgun's running around and yelling and screaming, she reveals herself to be Angela's mother, but she's younger than Angela.
Yeah. She then gets her phone out. I mean, Annie gets her phone out, and she sees that it's the younger Angela photo, and with her a teeny weeny tattoo that's on her waist.
Yeah, on her waist, an abdomen. Yeah. Okay.
Of course, she continues to think this is a load of BF or bull.
Yeah, a lot of BS. Yeah, because I thought it was BS. I watched the bloody thing.
Yes. And eventually Angela appears and she kills her mother, obviously. And then she, I guess, attempts to kill our Stretch, I think.
Actually, let's go back. It's Angela Pierce and rips her mother's head off. You start thinking, is she a demon?
Ooh.
Or what is she? Have you tried to rip someone's head off just with her bare hands? It's virtually impossible, unless you're Superman, okay?
Yeah. She kills Stretch, and quickly, Annie quickly gets back into the car, and she binds our evil demon Angela lady, whatever, and they drive close to the water's edge, and she makes an attempt at trying to probably have her choked to death on a bag. You know, one of those plastic bags you're told not to put your bag over your head.
You might not be able to breathe.
Yeah, this doesn't go so well. And then somehow, using her magic ability, she levitates the car above the water and slams it into the lake or a river. I'm not sure what. But as they are struggling, Annie's trying to get out of the car with little success. All the time, we see the camera is still, either operating. It's not most of the time. It's not recording.
Actually, the fun that bugs me is my mobile phone. Every time I get a new phone, the batteries never last this long. Honestly, they must get. Oh, someone's chasing me. I better go and recharge it so I get it.
Sometimes there's moments where the camera stops recording and then.
Oh, that's when the signal breaks down, the Wi-Fi or whatever. Yeah.
Anyway, Annie gets back to the surface of the water and gets back onto the land, and we see behind her Angela levitating out of the water.
And floats over to the shore or something rather.
Of course, Annie continues on her way, thinking that things are gonna get better, but she soon arrives at the house.
A remote house that's not far from the amusement park.
Yeah. There she finds the. I should have mentioned there was an amusement park in this one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
but
guys.
we weren't there very long, so
yeah, there was some weird stuff here and there.
Yeah.
That's hit and miss stuff. Anyway, she soon arrives at the house, and she finds out this house is the same house that she was supposed to drop Angela off.
Funny that, eh?
Funny. And when she realizes this, she then knows something's wrong, and then somehow the door slams shut on her. And I don't know what happens next, but soon enough she appears in another room where she sees all these ripped, old pages from an old book, maybe a witchcraft book, I'm not sure, and with little doodles of images, when you say
yeah.
And we see people in the room with her who are just in a dazed state.
And they all slit their own throats.
Yeah. We don't even know too much about the scene because we're still in the dark.
Actually, I thought those pages were actually out of a Bible that had demonic symbols on them, I think.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm not sure.
We don't know. And Angela quickly attacks Annie again, and Annie quickly grabs one of the knives that was left by one of the people who stabbed themselves, and kind of slits Angela's mouth open.
Yeah, she has with staples or mouth was sewn shut a bit or something.
Before, and we notice her mouth is bleeding, and we see it through this mask thing, but that was much earlier, and then we see, and she does go bite sometimes our Annie or Stretch throughout the scene, throughout the moment. Anyway, then so she tries to attack her again in the scene where she's getting this knife stabbed into her throat, or not into her throat. It's more into her mouth, I should mention, on both sides. But as she lies dying, we then see something sprout from her mouth.
Yes, like a slug-like creature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Annie tries to get away and tries to find pretty much one of the cars. And of course, sometimes the creature kept following her all this time. She also finds her old car with her
stretch car
with her keyboard and stuff like that, which is a bit odd because I think that's a bit weird, that part. Well, all the time she's jumping from different cars throughout this movie.
She finds Stretch's old car. That's where she had a bag.
Yeah.
He was in his tunnel or whatever it was. Yeah.
Even these weird followers of this creature probably took anyone's cars and hid them away so the public won't know about it. My theory is that probably might fit into it. Anyway, she then attacks the creature using the keyboard and slams into it several times, killing it, I think.
We'd like to think.
Then she jumps to the car.
It says to beat the creature to death in the notes here. Doesn't say which actually kills it, but we think it was killed.
Then we see Annie exhausted and sits inside the car, and then we see the recording on her phone coming back
Yeah,
on.
a bit of a time lapse or something rather, and she, maybe half an hour, or a couple of hours later, whatever. Yeah.
Then we cross to the credits where she's doing a DJ bit on the credits, all the time saying things about the cast, here and there.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then we fade out.
And then the real credits start.
I gotta admit, though, guys, I didn't know what to make of this movie, to be honest. I didn't like the character too much, and I didn't like her selfish behavior. Even when Stretch was in danger, she did nothing to help him.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on, Mike. I know you have something to say about it.
No, I'm just reading through my notes, so when you finish, I'm ready. I mentioned a few things before. It's really based. Annie was really in the band, and she's really a musician, and she did the sort of live streaming from a car and stuff. So, and they got the idea of, hey, let's make a movie out of it, but put some extra good gear into it. It's based on her, and they made her the leading lady. So, lucky, hey.
If she's like that on her channel, I would not watch it.
I wouldn't either. Now, right, now, it actually, believe it or not, it was filmed in England.
Okay.
But I don't know if the LA shots were actually done in LA. But
well, it might be.
It's sort of driving down the road in a left-hand drive
they
car.
may have filmed...
Yeah.
If she's a resident in England, which I mentioned she is, they filmed probably all the scenes in England and then went all the way to Los Angeles to film just one or two scenes up there. Just to make it look like real England. Because if you don't fill in the blanks with real locations, you're going to find that people won't believe it most of the time, if it's real or not. Anyway,
whatever.
I'm not... So, go on, Mike.
Come on, keep going. Blah, 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 blah. It was filmed in Margate in England during the late 2020.
So it was really filmed during COVID.
Yeah. Filming partly occurred at the Dreamland Amusement Park, briefly. Now, it's interesting stuff. While shooting the film, Annie, stayed at the Albion Rooms, a hotel and recording studio owned by the Libertines, which is a band, I gather, where she concurrently recorded material for Giant Drag, which is the band she's in. So she was cutting an album and doing a movie at the same time.
Wow.
Very busy girl. Now, in promotion of the film, Hardy's band, Giant Drag, released a digital single, Devil Inside, in June 2022. The song is featured in the film's closing credits. So, a nice vehicle for the band. What do you reckon?
Don't know.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's one need of help they can get.
Well, a lot of people often use music to promote in movies, blah, blah.
Blah. I've been done before. Now, here we go. Reception.
Go on.
Rotten Tomatoes. Now, 86 reviews this time around, not 12 or 11 or something, 86 reviews.
Got it.
Average approval of about 48. So, 48%-ish. Average, okay. DashCam is visually and thematically provocative. Although the film's grading protagonist undercuts its effectiveness. And that's what we reckon do. On Metacritic, the film has weighted average of 48 out of 100, based on 23 critics. Had mixed reviews. The Independent praised the film, calling it a riot. Sure. It's a film whose spell I can imagine being instantly broken the second you remove it from the precise context it was made for. In a cinema. With as large a larger audience as possible, all them hooting and hollering.
Hoot, hoot.
That should hardly be counted as a mark against it. If anything, it's proof that Savage knows exactly what kind of film he's making. DashCam is pure chaos. I'll say, had no idea what was going on half the time. Headlined by the character with a maelstrom for a personality.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another thing I've been wondering, even though that they said they listed the writers, I wonder if most of the time she just added a few lines of herself, here and there. If she's a songwriter, she might have, ad-libbed a little bit of the her own song lyrics to incorporate in this movie, or whatever. Right,
now, here's the guy's review is close to my own heart. Okay, Dennis Harvey of Variety gave the film a middling review, noting that as a showcase for Hardy, DashCam may be a little too much of a good thing. She's an acting natural, but this character is so vividly irksome, it turns the whole film into a sort of deliberately off-putting stand-up routine. Adding that DashCam feels longer than its spare 66 minutes. It logs pre-final credits. It's a clever stunt still, not so clever that it can't wear out its welcome.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the feeling.
It's flat.
Annie Hardy. Hey, she was good in the. She came over natural. I've got no problem with that. It was the way her role was portrayed, and the storyline, the way to me it didn't congeal. It just didn't hang in together. I think there's a few problems with it. They made her too out of control, and the storyline didn't work. It had lots of good bits in it, which they weren't linked properly, and some things we still don't know what the bloody hell Angela was.
Yeah.
We don't know where these guys committed suicide in front of Annie. What purpose? They walked in the room. These guys stand there, slit their throats. Boof. Next scene. Well, it just there's no story development and stuff. It's just like. Another weird bit, another weird bit, another weird bit, another weird bit. And he's driving around doing a streaming post, or what do you call it? What do you call it?
Just
streaming, yeah.
It's called viral screening.
Whatever, yeah. And you go, it's apart from that part, everything was just bits and pieces thrown together. Now, it could have been made into a far better film than what I have seen. Now, I normally talk about the budget and everything in the box office.
I think
I didn't mention it intentionally.
I think Mike and I when we were watching it last night, we both agreed that Spree was a lot better than this.
Now, here we go. I didn't mention. I don't know what the budget was. However, this would indicate how good the movie was. The box office. 70,585. I'm sure they could have put some sense in there as well. And
they have no
so
sense.
They only made about 70 grand in the cinema. So that would tell you there's a very, very, very good chance that nobody liked it.
Nah.
And the reviews and everything else, the blurb about it, nobody wanted to see it. And the trailers didn't inspire anybody. So, it died in its bum. And probably went, short run, went straight to a streaming service or whatever. There you go. So, look, honestly, I've seen worse, but not much worse. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rob. It's a good movie. Okay. The bones of the movie were good, but something's missing. I don't know. It just doesn't work. She's over the top. She's too far out of control. She's a cyclone going through it. Maelstrom, someone mentioned. That's fine, but it didn't totally work for the show, of the movie. The storyline didn't come to get to me. It didn't come together properly.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
the whole, I mean, I know, I like the fact that how she goes from B to how this happened, obviously, but it's still running short for me because we only just see bits here and there, and all the time she continues, when she knows danger is occurring around her, that senses around Angela, instead of driving the other way to avoid the danger, she's actually continues to drive Angela to her final destination.
I would have dumped Angela. So see
I
you
would
later,
have dumped
lady.
it.
Bye.
Yeah.
There's something ain't right here.
Yeah, this seeing as this lady is a danger to herself and to our... Well, I don't know if I want to call her my protagonist because I don't think she's a protagonist type.
Yeah. But anyway.
Because she continues to, throughout this movie, not caring about anyone in this movie.
Well, yeah. So why the hell does she care about Angela?
Or care about...
Totally out of context. Yeah,
or care about Stretch, who was just...
and he died.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be a friend of hers.
Yeah, she came out all the way to England to hang out with him, hang out with a buddy.
Poor old Stretch.
And when she started freeloading, I guess that's probably the reason why his girlfriend was getting annoyed with her, because she was out of control, getting on their final nerve. Who knows how many months she's been staying with
and
them.
full of conspiracy theories and all the other. You know the type.
Yeah, she's... well, if she's seen her... She obviously sports "Making America Great Again."
Don't go there.
The cap, which
Yeah, okay. She had an "Let's Make America Great Again" cap. Had a little Donald Trump figurine somewhere in a car or somewhere or other. Yeah, okay, fine. Right, but leave that. We're not going to get into politics here, please.
Sorry, but she comes off as "I'm right, you're wrong." And who cares about other people's opinions is what she's about. I don't like her because she reminds me of those people I see online or on the news who often who would kind of take out their mobile phones and start filming themselves, getting annoyed with other people or getting people angry at themselves, obviously, and like that person when she was in the restaurant where she was being told off to wear a mask and stuff
she
like that.
refused to cooperate, and she started the big fight with the guy in the
that sort of behavior
in the cafe restaurant thing because she said, "I have my rights, I can do what I freaking like" attitude, and that's what it's and he has rights too. It's his establishment, That's what I don't like about these people. If she didn't like it, she could have just walked out the door. And went somewhere else. But
no, she didn't.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Anyway, so let's rate this now, because I'm going to give this a really, really lowest rating ever.
I was going to be really, 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 really horrible and nasty and vitriolic almost, but in hindsight, look, Rob Savage has tried to put a good movie together.
Yes.
A short movie, a little over an hour. But I was going to go down and rate 3, or something rather, maybe 3.5. But I'm going to rate up to about 4.5, because a lot of it was good. The filming wasn't too bad. If Annie's role was how he wrote it, and that's what he wanted, I think the girl, Annie Hardy, did a good job in portraying an out of control, cyclonic maelstrom of an individual. So, but I can't give it anything more than, say, 4, because I don't think the film worked for me.
Yeah, I'm going to rate it, well, not 4, obviously, but I guess I will rate it 4, because I was going to rate it 3 because of, but then again, at least, it's some of the stuff, like the authentic stuff, like the believable stuff that's in it is okay, but some of the stuff seems to be more scripted when you think about it. Like the part where she continues to drive to this Angela, not realizing the danger she is in.
If you had a psychopathic killer in the car, would you keep them or would you push them out and drive away?
Yeah.
I would drive away. Okay. It didn't make sense. But anyway,
at least kick him out.
Kick him out. Here you go. Here's a taxi fare. Here's a dime for the phone. Yeah.
Seeing as Annie is not a very nice person.
Well, she didn't
I would have
speak.
thought. No, I was referring to Annie,
I was saying
not Angela.
Annie. Annie's not a very nice person.
Yeah,
you would think
compassionate? That if she was compassionate, she was compassionate enough, she could, she would be nice about.
If she was nice and compassionate, we wouldn't have had a movie.
Yeah, but considering she's not a compassionate person, she stole her friend's car, stole his mobile phone,
and was bludgeoning off them.
And who knows what other stuff she may have done in that house of theirs.
And just annoyed the crap out of Stretch's girlfriend, Gemma. Yeah, we didn't mention her. She didn't have a big part, but just annoy the crap out of her, and she didn't want to stay in the end. Yeah. I've had people like that. No.
Yeah. Anyway, so you know our thoughts on it, and where can we?
Where do you get it?
Where do you get it?
Where you get it.
If you want to get it.
If you want to get it. Now, look, honestly, if you like found footage sort of stuff, it's in there with the other ones. I just don't like the way the storyline's been put over. Okay. So I'm not knocking it too much. But eBay, it's for sale if you want to buy it. Amazon, you can rent it or buy it. I would suggest you rent it. But remember, there's another film, same name. And when I say same year, there's two dates for this movie. 2021 is when it hit the film festival, and 2022 when it hit the cinema. I'm not quite sure about the other one, whether it's 2021 or 2022, but it's the same name, the same year. So if you're looking for it, remember, Rob Savage produced, directed and wrote it, and Annie Hardy was the lead role in it. And that is the one you're looking for. And I think that's the one that showed up in Amazon and eBay anyway, I think. I don't think I found the other one.
It's okay.
Anyway.
So you know where to find it, guys, and whether you want to watch it or not, that's your business, obviously.
Look, if you like found footage, it's in there. I wouldn't say it's the best one. But I think Rob Savage, I don't know if he's done any other things, but I think he's had a good go at it, but there's something lacking. There you go.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't give it a high score, but there are some pluses, but not enough. Yeah.
I mean, if there was something a lot more in the story, was a lot more has a good flow going, but it feels scripted. It's a little hard for me to grade it higher. Yeah. Anyway, so you know our thoughts about it.
You know we're going to get it. You know what we think about it. Now, look, honestly, if you like it, if you like that sort of stuff, you might enjoy it more than we did. Okay, so if you like it, give it a go. I wouldn't want to think about buying it though.
No, I would not recommend it.
Yeah.
All right, so you know where to find us, and I hope you guys enjoyed this latest episode with us, guys. I'll be sure to sit Mike down, and we will actually get ourselves to actually sit down and watch Never Hike Alone 2.
Yeah, as well as too, as being funny, that playing words.
Yeah. So, this is Sarah Stephenson
and Michael
saying, see you guys around on Boys and Ghouls Film Review Podcast. So, bye for now.
Bye, guys.
Bye.